everyone, and welcome back to A Magic You. My name is Yulisa. I am your host for this podcast, and thank you so much for being here. This episode, we're going to be talking about the 10 habits that changed my life. But before we get into that, I wanted to do a little life recap. So it's currently September 1st. It's Labor Day weekend and my planned out staycation. I've been able to get so much done, which I'm very, very thankful for, because that's what I wanted this staycation for. So I was able to do some closet cleaning out, just cleaning the house in general, like without being rushed. I don't know if you're like me and just sometimes you just need to clean in order to do anything else, because I feel like if my house isn't cleaned up before I go do stuff, like I feel crazy. I feel out of order, I guess you can say. But there is times when I know like we've just been so busy that we haven't been able to pick up as like a deep clean, I guess, as I'd want to, and I just have to mentally tell myself like it's gonna be okay and we'll get to that a different day or a different time. So I got to do some cleaning, some decluttering. I got some groceries, things like that, and then I went to the beach this morning just to do some journaling, and I got to find some seashells, and that was so cute and fun and just a really nice start to the morning. We also got to do some yard cleanup, which is always such a blast. I love pulling weeds. It's actually one of my favorite things. I'm just kidding, everyone. I'm just kidding. But I had to pull weeds out of my garden bed because it's so nice when the garden bed is nice and clean and there's no weeds, and then it's like all out of nowhere they took over. So I pulled out a bunch of weeds and we trimmed up the bushes. We got a new hedge trimmer. Super fun, super fun. So that's basically been this weekend so far, just getting stuff done and existing. September is looking like a busy month per usual, but this month we have the Delaware Top 3 event to go to, the red carpet, and I'm so freaking excited. Oh my goodness. I'm just excited to do something and go out and dress up, and I bought a really pretty dress. I'll explain it for you guys so you guys can envision it. I might add a little picture. I will add a picture when it's time for the gala on the A Magic You Instagram. But the dress looks like kind of tealy, but more on the bluish side and metallic-y. It looks like 13 going on 30, her party dress, like the top part, if anybody remembers that, very like, I don't know what the neckline is, like straight but fitted, and then spaghetti straps, open back, and it's longer and it has a pleated bottom from like the bottom of the breast line, I guess, down. It's pleated and it's so stinking cute. I'm so excited. I'm also doing a Reiki class this month, Reiki 1, so I'm really super duper excited for that, getting to learn more about Reiki and actually practicing it, and hopefully to learn about what to do for myself when I just feel like I need to be more grounded, because I go to Reiki and I have been, I want to say for like the past year, maybe even a little bit longer, year and a half, and it's been amazing, absolutely great. I love it. But I'm very excited to take Reiki 1. And lastly is Ty's birthday at the end of the month. So we will hopefully be going to New England for a little getaway trip for a few days. I don't know where exactly. We're thinking New Hampshire. We just love to travel. And right now I'm looking for a new camera, and it's been killing me because it's really hard to find a camera. Like, does anybody have suggestions for how they chose one? I'm trying to get one that's like good in the camera part, the pictures, and also video so I can use it at work, and landscape, and I want one that is mirrorless so I can change out the lenses and get macro shots with a different lens, because I love macro shots of like detailed close-up, things like that. But so if anyone has any recommendations, please send me a message on A Magic You on Instagram, because your girl needs help. Okay, for real. Last thing, because I don't know if I've already said that, but last thing for my recap. I told you guys how I was meeting with the contractors for my upcoming suite, the new spa build. I'm so stoked about. So we met with them. I got to see a little bit of like a pre-draw, what they were thinking as far as like the build, and they're going to be coming back next Thursday to talk a little bit more, and then bringing in some more of the guys that would be doing the work here. And yeah, so I'm really stoked about that. We have a lot to do before that though, just with the city and some zoning things. But aside from that, fingers and toes crossed that everything goes as planned, because I'm just really excited for this next chapter of Prickly Pear Studio. Okay, and now into the episode. So, 10 habits that changed my life. So these are not in any particular order. Write them down and just take note of what you could maybe implement in your life to help you as well, if there is anything on my list that could help you. Number 1 would be ditching alcohol. I want to say it was about 2021 when I decided to stop drinking. Really, me and Ty both were kind of just over the feelings of like being hungover or just always needing a drink. When we were both in the Air Force and in the dorms and stuff, like it was just like party all the time. Like there was always like drinking. We were in Germany, so it was allowed because we were 18 and that is the drinking age over there. So I think we got that out of our system over there, and I'm really thankful, because if I have a drink now, I feel like crap the next day, and I'm only 26. And the anxiety that comes with it, even if I have like barely any, like even if I'm not drunk, I still get anxiety the next day, just like a pit in my stomach. It feels gross. So just the overall feeling was not worth it. I didn't like it. I didn't even like the feeling. So I decided not to. It's unhealthy. It will age you. That was another thing. I really don't want to age myself internally or externally. So if I can help it, I'm going to avoid it. And this is not to say if you drink that you're going to, age rapidly, but alcohol does age you, just to keep in mind. And like sugar and the things in the alcohol, sugar is so big on aging and just messing you up. It's addictive. So just being mindful, because I know there's like the good little seltzers. Like I'm not saying I won't have a drink, because if I have a drink, we're probably splitting like a mojito or something like that. I think it's fine every once in a while, but just listening to your body. If your body says it's tired of it, maybe try giving it a break. Instead, I now just chug a crap ton of water. I went to Savannah, Georgia in May to visit my best friend, and I didn't drink. I just drank a bunch of water and we were vibing. It was a good time. You could always try a mocktail, like bubbly waters. At first, it may seem a little difficult because people might try and peer pressure you, like, oh, just have a drink. Oh, it's just one. But stay strong, stay true to yourself. You're doing it to see if it helps you feel better. It doesn't have to be forever, but it's really just to see how overall it helps you feel not drinking, because you probably won't have that anxiety and the icky feelings the next morning when you feel like you need to eat McDonald's and a Coke at 7 in the morning. The next thing that changed my life was going to bed early. I've always been someone that really enjoys going to bed early, waking up early. I am a morning person. I am ready to go at 6 a.m. My day has started at 4:45. I'm up. And that wasn't always a thing. I usually wake up around 6 on days that I sleep in, which sounds so crazy. A few years ago, I had read like the 4 a.m. Club. I read a little bit about it, and just looking into how waking up earlier, you have more time in the day and more time to relax. Like it's a quiet, early start to the day, which I personally love. I wake up early just to help myself feel better, give myself me time before I see 12 plus clients a day. And by the time I get home, it's 6, 7 p.m. I'm exhausted. I've been around a lot of energies and I just need to wind down. So going to bed early, waking up early, definitely is something that fills my cup. Going to bed early also helps your body get into a routine, so that way it'll help your sleep in the longer run, and even after you get your habit going. So if you have a hard time going to bed early, put an alarm on your phone to maybe start the wind down of your evening, whether that be like a shower, a bath and shower, just washing your face, putting your phone on do not disturb or like sleep mode. That's what I do. It's so nice to put D&D on. I live by it. As soon as I'm home, that's going going on because I'm exhausted. So then put your alarm on to go to bed early and just give yourself some time. The next habit that changed my life is journaling. So I have always been someone that liked to journal. Since I was a kid, I loved my diary. I would write like Dear Diary. I actually had a diary called, it had like a little surf dog on it, and it literally just had like surf dog. So I would put Dear Surf Dog, and it was so cute. Now I'm wondering if I can find that same book because I want it. But anyway, I would write in that just like my day, my feelings. There is no right or wrong way to journal. It's just a way to get what you have in your head out. List out things that you've been wanting to do, tasks, things on your mind, ideas, how you've been feeling, songs you like, numbers you see. You can do it in paragraphs, bullets. Like, you don't even have to, it doesn't have to be one language if you are bilingual. You can use markers, stickers. It's just so fun to you talk about your day, and it's a good reflection on the year, the month, the day. It has definitely helped my memory tremendously, and it's just really fun to go back through my journals and be like, oh, on this day I, went to an amusement park and here are like the tickets. It's like a little scrapbook. It's how I do mine, and I'll put pictures, I'll draw. It's just so fun to doodle and get everything out, and then you get to process it and feel it, and it isn't just like cluttered up in your brain. So I recommend going to like a Barnes & Noble if you can, or looking on Amazon. My favorite, like brand, I guess, of journals is Bando. It's like BAN.DO with a line over the O. This is not sponsored at all. I just love them so much. They have like really cute patterns, and they have a lot of cute stationery items and stickers, and just so adorable. Like, you want one that excites you to write in it. You want to use things like a good ass jelly pen for sure. I cannot write unless it's my good jelly pens. And for my pens, I love the Pilot G-207s. I forgot what like brand it is, or if that's the brand. I really don't know. But anyway, it's like those really good ones that you want to steal from like the bank and stuff. They're awesome. So go get yourself a journal, get yourself a nice jelly pen, some stickers because it's freaking fun, it's cute, and just have at it. Write whatever. Write the weather for the day. Start there. Start with a list of what you did that day. I went to the store, I went for a walk, I ate this. Just start there. Give it a try. It took me about a year to be able to get in the habit of doing it on the daily, or if I don't do it on the daily, I just recap. I go back in my pictures because usually I take pictures of things. If it's like important enough, and then I just talk about that. So it helps me remember what I did that week, and also I'm just getting it out there. The next habit that changed my life was listening to self-development podcasts and YouTubes and just things that help fill my cup. So a few of those were Lavender on YouTube. She has amazing meditation videos. Her voice is so soothing, affirmations. I absolutely love her. Another one is Self-Obsessed by Tamara, and I hope I got that right, but she's also really great and just really motivational, and that bitch is positive. I love her. She's so cute and fun, and she was also someone that got me started on the whole spiritual journey, and just someone I really enjoyed listening to. You can also listen to podcasts of things that you enjoy, whether that be sports or business, whatever it is. Listen to podcasts throughout the day instead of the same old music. Start learning off of other people and just listening in on conversations, because you can learn something, or you might find something else interesting and find a new hobby or something that way. The next habit is morning walks. So I, love the morning, as I said earlier, and getting Penny. So Penny is our little Aussie pit mix. She is our baby. She's 3 years old. We got her when the business opened, I think like 2 months after, from some friends nearby. And she's really just been such a little blessing to our lives. But with that, she needs a routine, and she needs her morning walks, even if I have to drag her out of bed at 5 a.m, because that's actually too early for her, but that's when I like to go. So she helps me do these morning walks. It's nice to just have her with me. It's my little me time with her. We get to breathe in the fresh air. We get to see the morning dew on the grass that shines when it's sunny out. We get to see the pretty colors in the sky, sometimes pinks and purples and golds and like yellows all mixed up in there. Sometimes the moon's out, and oh my god, it's just so so beautiful. So my morning walks are something that changed my life for the better. It got me back into the groove of just like moving and grooving, and it's just one of the best things. One of the best parts of my day, for sure. The next habit is meditation. I remember I used to tell myself like, oh, I can't meditate. I can't. There's always like thoughts in my head. Well, it wasn't until I actually tried a little bit harder and looked into it more that it's okay if you have these random thoughts in your head. You just take the time to sit there, even if that whole 5 minutes or whatever amount of time you allotted for meditation, if you're just feel like your brain's just going and you're thinking of random crap, it's okay, because you're getting in the habit of laying there for that amount of time or sitting there and allowing yourself time to sit, which is very difficult for us nowadays. Over time, you will get better at it. It takes time, it takes practice, just like anything else. You can start focusing on your breathing. I still get sidetracked a lot of the time. I feel like I'm always still learning, but I'm still learning how to just keep better concentration during meditation. And I notice that I will tell myself like, you're getting off track, or you're getting too worked up over whatever you're thinking of. You want to see it, acknowledge it, move forward, and let it drift away like a cloud. While you're meditating, try and think about what you want in life, things that you want, like actual things. It could be physical, it could be, mentally, just things you want. Envision yourself with those things and actually the feeling of getting them while you're meditating. So set 2 minutes out of your day or every other day, whatever you can. And if you say, oh my gosh, I'm too busy, you can be sitting in your car before you go into work. You could be right before bed. It's just the point and act of meditating and telling yourself, for these few minutes, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to breathe, I'm going to relax and just let my mind relax. Even if you feel like it's just going crazy, just acknowledge the thoughts, let them pass like clouds. Lucky number 7, the 7th habit that changed my life, and this is not in any order, Whole30 and looking at ingredients. So this one was huge, and this one was only recently as of this year. Most of the other things I've been trying to incorporate into my life over the past 3 years, and most of the things on my list over the past 3-ish years. And this one is as of May, but it's just stuck with me so incredibly much that it's for real. It's changed my life. I was feeling so shitty about myself. I felt icky in my body, and the thing is that I haven't even been eating bad. I guess maybe when I say bad, I mean like greasy foods, going out to eat all the time, like things like that, because we were making foods. We make our own foods most of the time, but it was just like a lot of breads and empty calories, maybe eating late at night as well, just things like that. So my habits weren't as great, and I just felt like I needed a shift without it being like a diet. I wanted a lifestyle change, which is why I looked into Whole30. I even had a friend tell me about this years ago, I want to say 2 years ago, and she was like, oh, I'll try these chips that you gave me like at the end of the month. Right now I'm doing Whole30, and she explained it all to me. So you can't eat any beans and legumes, sugars, any processed foods, any carbs, like breads. I don't want to say carbs, but like any breads and grain. And like you can't even have maple syrup or honey, and you have to make everything. So it's like everything that went into it. So it consists of a lot of like meat and potatoes and like vegetables and fruit. And the thing is that you can still eat really good food. It's just looking up recipes and finding alternatives. So going from vegetarian for about 7 years, eating a lot more carbs and breads. I was eating a lot of the fake vegan stuff like the Morningstar sausage patties, which they taste great, but they're all processed. Things like that. I just wasn't feeling good after. I was very, very bloated. I felt sick to my stomach most of the time. I felt lethargic, just tired and sluggish and icky. I don't know how else to explain it besides icky. I just felt odd in my body. So Whole30 lifestyle change. I was ready. I had to mentally prepare myself like, okay, we're going to do this. It's for 30 days. That's it. At the end of this, the cookies that I was craving that whole time, I can have a freaking cookie at the end. And everything that I'm craving in those moments of pleasure and eating that in that moment, it's going to be there at the end of the 30 days. I just have to do 30 days days to really see how my body feels without all of this stuff and to see if it helps me feel better. Yes, it was hard, but it was so worth it. I remember day 15, I just got used to it at that point. And then, the next week went by, we got to day 30, and I was like, I kind of just want to keep eating this way. I'm obsessed with how I feel. I'm obsessed with how I look. My skin has never skinned harder than this. Like, for a fact, cutting out all the gluten and processed food and breads and sugars, my skin was freaking glowing. And I'm an esthetician. I've done chemical peels. I, use my vitamin C, my retinol, my sunscreen. I do everything possible as far as like I can do for my skin. And it was just like these little textured bumps were not going away until I changed my eating habit. They also say that abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. And I can tell you that that is very much true. So I work out a little bit. I do like Pilates and stretching, very low intensity things, whereas I used to do like HIIT every single day and lifting weights before I started the business. But then I just got so busy, overwhelmed, tired, depressed a little bit until I like started this journey. And then I would do meditating in the mornings versus my like workouts and stretching, like little things like that to move my body. But point of it all that is that while working out before, when I would go hard, I would be fit. Yeah, I was definitely a lot stronger, but I wasn't feeling the way my body was in that time. I was just like thinking like, if I do all of this and I'm watching when I eat, besides not eating meat and dairy, like why don't I have the abs or like more of a toned core? And it was just because of all those foods not really working with my body and the way it works. So by changing my eating, my tummy toned up without me having to spend hours in the gym. And I'm not saying I have rock hard abs or like a freaking washboard abs, but definitely more toned than ever before. And that feels really, really good when that's something that you've always wanted, which is me. I just want it to feel healthy and good in my body. The more you start looking into ingredients in your food, you can just start to see all the stuff on the ingredients label that one, you can't pronounce or too long, or it has color names in it and numbers. Our food should really only be things that we know or from the ground, from this earth, modified in the way maybe of like coconut sugar. That's something processed. Yeah, it's not like you can just scrape a coconut and get sugar off it. You have to do other things to it, but it's still better than processed 0-calorie sugar. The problem isn't the calories. The problem is the things that the food is made out of and the effect it's having on our bodies. Because with Whole30, it's not about calorie counting. It's about just fueling your body, eating whole foods, whole real foods that are going to fuel your body. That's it. That's really it. Cutting out the process, cutting out the sugars, cutting out all the things that are really just so far gone right now, at least in the US. It's just so hard to find foods that are actually natural because some labels say natural and others say natural star. And what even is natural flavoring? That's a whole ingredient of its own. And who even knows what that means? It's just insane. So look at your ingredients, look into Whole30, but I will say mentally prepare yourself. You don't have to give up. Just tell yourself it's for 30 days and this is so I know how my body feels without all of these things. And you might learn to love it and actually it'll become a lifestyle like it has with myself. The next habit that changed my life is practicing gratitude. Practicing gratitude sounds so easy and it can be. It's really interesting that the best times to do it are when you feel like life is just freaking lifing, because it helps you just open your mindset and eyes to away from whatever it is that could be pissing you off in that moment, making you mad, upsetting you, frustrating you, and take a step back and look at all the blessings in your life. The more we count our blessings, the more blessings we receive. Why would the universe, God, whoever you believe in, why would they want to bless you if you are ungrateful for what you have in this moment? If a child has 100 toys and they just want one more, are they even going to be happy with that one more? Whereas if a child has none and they have one toy and it could be the raggediest thing, that is everything to them and they are so grateful to have that one toy. Yes, children don't know or understand it all the way, at least not as many as kids I've met, but we all still have that inner child in us too. So it's kind of like teaching ourselves. I want you to think about 3 things you are thankful for today. It doesn't have to be anything specific. It could be your car. It could be your cup of coffee in the morning. Just 3 things that you are so grateful for. Feel them really tight and fuzzy in your heart, and then take a big deep breath in and then release it out. You feel so good just being thankful. Practicing gratitude can change your look on life, how you look at things, whereas, one person may step in a puddle and be pissed, whereas another person may be like, oh, I stepped in a puddle and I got this dog shit out of the bottom of my shoe. So it's really about the way you look at life. And of course, there's going to be moments where shit hits the fan, but take a step back, take a deep breath in, release out, and look at what's around you. Look at the blessings, look at the good. You're healthy, you're here, you're listening to this on some sort of device. There's everything to be grateful for. It'll help you feel more positive, and that alone will spread more positivity into the world. The next habit that changed my life is getting into nature. So really going on hikes. We have a few trails by our house within like 10-15 minutes, and they're not long, but it's just getting away from the busy of the roads, the traffic, the lights, the noise, getting away from the noise. I love to leave my phone in the car. I'll take like my headphones maybe, or if I can. I guess if I have my phone, I'll take my headphones if I'm alone with Penny, and I'll just play meditation music. But usually with Ty, we're just breathing, talking, existing, taking pictures of nature, butterflies, the bugs we find. It's just so fun, and it's awesome to hear all the birds and getting to see them. It lowers your stress and boosts your mood. It'll help you feel grounded, and by that I mean just realizing, the everything is it's not doomsday. You can take a chill pill, you can sit back, you can relax. You are here to exist and live life and feel it, not just go through it. We took a trip in July to upstate New York, and we stayed in a cabin on a farm. It was so gorgeous up in the Finger Lake, and the whole time we were at the cabin, I was walking barefoot on these clover patches. It was like grass and clover. It was so gorgeous. Your bare body, your bare feet, if you're on the ground, if you're in water, I'm talking about on the ground though, feet to ground, it releases negative electrons and you get to absorb positive ones. That's why people hug trees. You're just like releasing stress. It's so amazing. Your bare feet on clovers, that's my favorite. But give it a try. Look crazy, get your coffee. Who freaking cares what your neighbors are thinking? Buy a patch of grass if you don't have any. If you're in the city and just have like a balcony, like who cares? Get a little patch of grass that would like be used for dogs or something, and then just maybe don't let your dog use it if you're going to use it for grounding, but use it to ground your feet. It's just so nice. But getting into nature was extremely beneficial to my life. That whole trip in New York, after I felt like it didn't matter if the building could have been on fire, and I was going to be like, it's all going to be okay. And that's what I mean. It just levels your head out. You stop worrying so much, and you just realize like it's all going to be okay. The last habit, the 10th habit, is allowing time for fun. We live in such a busy world where there's like no time. Time for what? You wake up, you get ready for work, you go to work, maybe you work out, you make your dinner, you make your breakfast. If you have kids, you have to tend to the kids, you have to take care of them. If you have pets, you got to take care of them, you got to bathe them, you got to bathe yourself, get ready for the next day. Like, holy cow, when does it stop? Where is the time for fun other than the weekend or even just that weekend? I think it's crazy that there's only 2 days that is like regulated or whatever for like days off. I don't even know if it's regulated. But your standard Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. That's crazy to me. That's not enough time. There's a lot to do in those 2 days that you have off, whether it be, appointments, grocery shopping, cleaning, sports, but allow yourself time for fun. This is something I had to learn, and I had my therapist tell me years ago, and my Reiki practitioner tell me that I need to allow myself time for fun. If you are work, and you are really just thinking about work and what's next and what's to come and the busy and not allowing your brain space, you are blocking creativeness out of your head because there's no space for it. You're blocking new ideas. You have to allow time for not thinking about the busyness of this life. Whether that be going on walks, that could be time for fun. Find a new hobby. Don't be scared to try something new, because that new thing might be the thing that gets you excited every morning. So allow yourself time for fun, time to hang out with friends, time to socialize, even if that fun looks like reading a book and sitting in the pool, or reading a book, having a fireplace on. Whatever it is, allow yourself time for fun. And we've made it to the end. So those are the 10 habits that changed my life. So in no particular order: ditching alcohol, going to bed early, journaling, listening listening to podcasts, morning walks, meditation, Whole30, or just looking at ingredients, practicing gratitude, getting into nature, and lastly, allowing time for fun. Write these down, take note of them, maybe circle a few that you want to try, and let me know how it's going for you. Send me a message on A Magic You on Instagram. Send me a text. I believe there's a link in the show notes where you can send me a message and I can get back to you. Don't be so hard on yourself. This all won't happen right away, and if it does, that's amazing and incredible, but it has taken me 3 years to get these habits in my life and just sticking with them. It's no longer a challenge. It's no longer, oh my God, I have to do this. It's I get to do this, and this is my life, and this is how I structure my life. These are the things that fill my cup. These are things that fuel me and make me feel so incredible. Thank you for listening. I really, really hope that this podcast helped you and helps you feel inspired. If you feel like it did help you and you would love to leave me a review, I'd be so grateful for that. Please send this to a loved one that may need to listen. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. And here's to working towards a magic you.